Before this video gets started, even though I'm not recording this at the beginning of the video because I was stupid and I forgot, but before we get started on the video, just so you know, next week there won't be a new episode of Frieren. Yes, I know, we're taking a break again. Didn't we just do that 3 weeks ago? But we did. But now it's Christmas. I mean, I know this is going out in January, but for me, it's just about Christmas, so I'm taking a break. We're going to come back in 2 weeks, and then will be good through the end of the season. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for Season 1, Episode 18, whatever it's called. What is it called? First Class Mage Exam. So we'll be back then. Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Frieren. Last time around, we had Long Lived Friends, where... looking for my notes. Oh, they're literally right above the notes that I have. Okay. Basically, the gang went and found one of Frieren's old friends, Old Man Full, and he was an aging, pretty much didn't have much time left, dwarf who basically wanted, he was protecting a village. It was the village that his wife was from. And even though she was long gone, he was still protecting it. And it was interesting. It was a good chat between him and Frieren about the passage of time and the promises you make to others and keeping those promises after they're long gone. After that, the gang found a statue of Kraft and one of his companions from many years ago. And this was all in search of Zine's buddy, Gorilla Warrior. And he found out that Gorilla is in a different city, but it's a city that's kind of way out of the way. So now we're kind of at a crossroads of what do we do about this? What do we do about this? Do we just ditch him and be like, well, good luck? Or are we going to go with him? I don't know. I have no idea. So we should probably just find out. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Frieren. Here we go. Alrighty, episode 17. God, this show is just like ASMR for me. The amount of relaxation from this show is ridiculous, And it's so nice. I'm so glad I watched this, with Vinland Saga and now with Black Clover, because, those can be, hype and intense and great and fun. And this, it's okay, now I get to take it down, I get to sit back, and I get to relax, listen to this amazing dub with these great voices, and just chill and everything. And man, what an interesting thing just saying farewell to Zine for now. I mean, yeah, that's a really interesting thing to do. It's how long have we had him, I guess we can go check. We got him literally 4 episodes ago. We've only had him for 5 episodes. We've only had him for 5 episodes, including this one, and now we're separated again. It's just, but I kind of like that. It makes it real, It makes it feel way more real than not, It kind of reminds me of, the whole thing with, Game of Thrones, where it's characters will die randomly, and it's just oh, well, that's more true to life. I think that's what they said in, the George R. R. Martin epic rap battles. That was the joke about Game of Thrones, but it's but I kind of like this, where it's just yeah, we had him for 5 episodes, he was a part of the team, and then he's just it's difficult for him to go, because he liked being a part of the team, but he's got to go find his friend, He's got to go find his friend. But there's nothing to say that he's not going to come back at some point, that they won't meet up again, but, who knows? I suppose it's possible, that it'd be kind of sad, but what if we once we got to, Orele, and you just see his spirit there, and just dude, what happened, you know? But hopefully not. But that's an interesting thing. Just a character we had for 5 episodes, and now he's gone, you know? Also, new OP. What's going on? 16 episodes. Like, I thought if we were going to have a new OP, it would be at episode 15, because this season is 28 episodes long, which is longer than a normal double season of anime. Double seasons generally go for about 24 episodes. This is 28. So I thought, okay, episode 14 is basically the halfway point, so episode 15 we might get a new one. Then we didn't, so I just thought in my head, okay, it's like Demon Slayer. Like, the first season of Demon Slayer was 26 episodes long, but just had the same OP throughout the whole thing. So I thought, okay, we're doing that, where we're just going to have the same OP for 28 episodes. Nope. Episode 17, they're just like, screw it, we're just going to do that with 11 episodes or 12 episodes left, so... So anyway. Actually, not even 12 episodes, is it? No. If I could learn to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Okay, well... no, it is 12 episodes. Sorry. Anyway. Maybe I should learn to count. Good grief. But anyway, so new OP, that's pretty good. And again, it's nice. It's a nice OP. It's really good. I just really love this show. You know, I know they announced... I think they announced recently season 2. I wonder if there's a release date on that, because I would love for it to be soon. You know? Frieren season 2. Okay, no release date announced yet, but at the very least, it's confirmed that there will be a second season, which is good. I'm gonna be right here for it. I freaking love this show. You know, it is just so relaxing. You know, there's something so peaceful about this show that I really like. So yeah, you know, and then we had Zine dealing with Fern and Stark fighting again. I mean, it's just, you just gotta be careful. You can't just go touching girls out of the blue, you know? Even though she did touch him out of the blue. It's just like, you gotta be careful about that. And, because, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's not even that he did that. It's the fact that, well, A, you did it from behind. And B, which this is not A and B, this is 1 and 2, but whatever. But B, you weren't gentle, man. You weren't gentle. Like, none of them have the strength that you do, you know? For all intents and purposes, the 3 of them are just sort of average people. Their magic is ridiculous, but they are average people. He is ridiculous. He is strong as hell. So you just gotta be a little careful and don't sneak up on a girl and do that, you know? Because she didn't sneak up on him. She just did that while he was right there, you know? So, but it's just a thing, you know, it's fine. She was startled and in her surprise accidentally lashed out at him. And so they just had to go cool off, talk it out a little bit, then, you know, and then they make up. But I love that moment. I love that moment when it cuts to Zine and Frieren in the tavern, and he just angrily slams his cup on the table. It's like, damn it, why don't they just date already? It's like, I love that. That's just us. That's just the audience, where it's just like, would you just get together already, you know? But she's such a tsundere. She's such a tsundere. He's such an idiot. And it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. But they're getting closer. And, I mean, hell, you know, Fern, I understand why she doesn't just jump into a relationship with him for a number of reasons, but she's also just trying to figure herself out, and part of that, I'm going to say, because she's an incredibly independent, despite the fact that she's, you know, been, you know, with, you know, Hyder and Frieren, and then Frieren, you know, pretty much all her life. It's like, she's a very strong, independent young woman, you know? And he is an idiot. He is an idiot. He is not really a strong, independent man. He's just kind of a goof, you know? But still, I don't know. It's like, I understand why the two of them aren't just jumping at that, you know? I mean, they have to figure out their feelings for each other, you know? They aren't aware. While it's plainly obvious for everyone, they don't understand it yet. So that was good. And a good thing for Zine. Hopefully the two of them don't have another fight, because now they don't have the mediator. So, but yeah, and then they went their separate ways. I hope we see him again. I don't know if he'll, like, join up in the party again, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, there are moments where we've needed him. The curse, you know, the poison, and then, you know, Fern and Stark fighting. It's just like, we have needed him these past 5 episodes. So to suddenly not have him around, it's like, I hope we don't get into that kind of trouble. But even still, I mean, they did kind of get into that trouble immediately. Actually, that's a really clever thing that the writer did, the author did, where it's just like, well, Zine, he left. We still got the rest of the episode, and it's just like, how about a story where they kind of need him immediately? Like, he would fill this role of, you know, finding the herbs and, you know, getting this medicine to take care of her, to take care of Fern's fever, but he's not around anymore, so they use his notes, they use some of the Holy Scripture, and they are able to figure it out themselves, so that's at least good. And yeah, and then we had the whole thing of, you know, don't treat someone like a child. I mean, it's a thing, it kind of reminds me of the thing in, like, that I talk about in The Sopranos, which I know that's a weird segue, but the thing I talk about in The Sopranos, because one of the big things is, you know, Tony being in therapy, and there's a lot of discussion, I guess, on, you know, whether or not you really need it. And it's just like, I always say in The Sopranos, it's like, I'm sure everybody on planet Earth, including therapists, need therapy to an extent, you know? Some people don't get it, some people do. Either way, probably everyone needs something like that, you know? So I kind of view it as a similar thing here, where it's, you know, it's like, well, you know, we're not treating you like a child, but we're supporting you. You know, everybody needs support, even if they're an adult, you know? Himmel was there. Himmel, the Giga Chad himself, was there, and it's like, hey, I'm going to support you. And she's like, I'm not a child. I'm like 1,000 years old. And he's like, yeah, and you're sick, and I'm going to support you here. And she's like, well, it's not bad. It's not bad. So, and so I like that moment of Fern being like, you know, I'm not a child, and Frieren just still holding her hand and just saying, it's like, that much is apparent, you know? Like, that's nice. And of course, you know, part of the embarrassment just came from the fact that she was given this emotional and physical support while Stark was there. It's the same thing of, like, you know, it's like exactly what Stark said. Like, he understood all of that, and still, when Frieren was like, oh, and I'll hold your hand when you're sick, and he was like, please don't. That's really embarrassing. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. A good episode, another good, calm, relaxing episode. This really is. This is exactly what I need in my life, like, right now. It's just like, because I kind of talk about, like, I talked about, actually today on Black Clover, I don't remember what episode it was. It was either episode 7 or episode 8, but I was talking about, you know, if you had shown me Black Clover, like, 5 years ago, I might have, you know, been like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I imagine myself with all these cool powers, and I'll be, you know, Like I'd like be totally into it because that's, you know, even at 22 I was still like, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, superpowers and stuff. That's also cool. Like I imagine myself in a shonen anime. Nowadays it's like, yeah, all of that stuff is great in Black Clover, but I also kind of look at the whole quiet village and, you know, church and farm and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, that's the shit right there. I could just go and relax. Even if I do hard, you know, farm work and stuff, I'm sure it's difficult, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you should relax, you know? And it's like every episode of Frieren, I'm just like, oh, I want this. Not to have like epic grand battles with magic or as a warrior or anything. It's like, I just want to chill. Just go on a nice journey with a couple of friends, you know? Like, that's what I get out of this. And it's just, oh, it's so relaxing, you know? It's so relaxing. So, it's always good stuff. It's always good stuff. And I'm excited to see where we're going next time. But remember, we will be back in 2 weeks for the next episode. And then we got 8 episodes left this season. We're just going to go straight through to the end after that. So yeah, that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Frieren reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.